The 2015 election campaign is not going to be an easy one. But don't let anyone tell you that it's an impossible task either. We have our own secret, deadly weapon in that battle. The chairman of our general election campaign, Paddy Ashdown. Okay, he might not be a secret, but he sure as hell can be deadly. So, conference, will you please welcome to the stage the one and only, the incomparable, the unstoppable, Paddy Ashdown.
Okay, guys, quieten down. Bloody conference committee's only given me 10 minutes, so I have a lot to say. So as Michael Caine used to say, here's something that not many people know about. I have an uncanny knack of predicting the future. So my crystal ball tells me that I can tell you exactly what you're going to be doing 600 days from now. Each and every one of you. You'll all be doing exactly the same thing. 600 days from now, at exactly this time, you'll be running around like blue-arsed flies. You'll be knocking frantically on every door. You'll have booked the day off work. You'll have got up at 3 a.m., I know you will. And 15 hours later, you'll be delivering and knocking and cajoling and driving and data entering and telling. And it doesn't matter if it's raining or windy or foul or miserable or dreich, as they say here in Glasgow. You'll still be doing it. And what's more, you'll be doing it when you didn't come here to be cheered up, did you? And what's more, you'll be doing it for another 4 hours. And you know, I know that you'll have smiles on your faces and blisters on your feet. Now, how do I know that? Because I know you. I've campaigned with you, and I have been immensely proud to do so. Because I tell you, you are, when the chips are down, quite simply the best campaigners in the world. And that's what I want you to be. I want you to be that now, and I want you to be that 600 days from now. Because, yeah, you've got there, you're already ahead of me. 600 days from now will be the date, come on, you know, of the next general election. You know, someone said to me, Alistair said it too, Paddy, I see, so you're the party's secret weapon. No, I'm not. I'm not the party's secret weapon. You are. You are this party's secret weapon. You are what made us win in Eastleigh, coming in your hundreds, phoning in your thousands, and persuading, cajoling, leafleting. You just wouldn't let go. You just wouldn't give in. And you put them all to shame. The doubters, the gloom merchants, the clever clogs from the London newsrooms. And you won. And you made me burn with pride for what you did. But here's a warning. They'll do it all over again, just as they always do. They'll try to write us off again, just as they always do. And we'll have to prove them wrong again, just as we always do. I know, because like you, I've been there, I've seen that, I've got the T-shirt. Here's a story that goes back to 1976 when I pitched up for the first time in Yeovil in a clapped-out Renault 5 to become the PPC of that constituency, where we were third at the previous election, where the Tories had been in power since 1911. They didn't count their majorities, they weighed them. where I was representing a party which could get very nearly all its MPs in a phone box. And by the way, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Liberals, a party leader who was about to be arraigned for conspiracy to murder in the Old Bailey. You think it's bad these days? You ain't seen nothing. Our only constituency asset was a mildewed Victorian hall and a local party whose average age was deceased. So what do? We did what we always do. We started door knocking. We started leafleting. We started Saturday morning surgeries, team building, wheedling the local press, and drinking copious amounts of my home-brewed carrot wine. Well, I was a Liberal, wasn't I? And 2 years later, in a council by-election, we still came last. So we went out and we did it all again. More leaflets, more door knocking, more members recruited, more campaigns, and 5 years later, we swept the board with our local councillors, and the proudest day of my life, I was elected as the first Liberal MP for the Yeovil constituency since 1911. It was tough then. It was tough then, and I recognize very well that it's tough today too. But today, you know, you have something to help which we didn't have. You have a record of delivery in government, both locally and nationally, that we can all be proud of. A £700 income tax cut for 24 million people. A £2.5 billion pupil premium. 1 million new private sector jobs. More than 1 million new apprenticeships. Boosting British manufacturers, helping British businesses to grow. Fellow Liberal Democrats, it's a record to be immensely proud of. But it's no good just feeling warm and fuzzy inside about it. We need to get outside and shout it from the rooftops and on the doorsteps and on our leaflets. What we've done in government to make people's lives better. How much extra money have we put into local schools through that pupil premium? How many people locally have been taken out of income tax? How many new apprenticeships have been created in local businesses? We have a great tale to tell. But you know and I know that it will be worthless unless we get out there and tell it. And by the way, I don't know if you saw, yes, you may have done, that this summer Nigel Farage told The Guardian, what UKIP needs to do is follow the model that Paddy Ashdown set for the Liberal Democrats. Well, I suppose all imitation is flattery, but there are limits. I mean, just think for a moment, what are the slogans? Whinging here. Or perhaps a record of extremism, a promise of more. You know, getting out of Europe will kill jobs in Britain by the tens of thousands. And our party's job is to create them. We are creating them. That's the great campaign that we are launching today. Oh, over 1 million jobs for a stronger economy. You know, for some of you, that's a slogan, and a very important one. But for me, it's a lot more. It's something very, very, very personal. I lost my job in the Thatcher recession of the early 1980s. I was out of work for 1.5 years. I applied for dozens and dozens of jobs, and I received, as people still do today, dozens and dozens and dozens of rejection. I'll never forget that feeling. The broken self-confidence, the feeling of worthlessness, the fear of not being able to feed my family, that constant sense of failure throbbing away at the back of my mind. At one stage, all Jane and I had between us and zero was 100 quid. To be honest, it still hurts me now to remember it. Eventually, I found a job on a government-funded scheme as a youth worker, helping to get the young unemployed back to work. I think I'm still one of the only members of Parliament to be elected from the unemployed register. See, that's why I am so passionate about this campaign. Liberal Democrats in government, you, me, all of us, have already helped to create 1 million private sector jobs, and we can be proud of that, but it's not enough. It's not enough. Now we need to lift more than another 1 million out of the pain that blighted me and my family all those years ago. More apprenticeships, more support for British manufacturing, to pivot jobs away from our bloated financial sector, more high-tech jobs to help create sustainable economy for the future, more green jobs to help save Britain from the blight of climate change. And as we create these new jobs, we need to tell everybody about it. We need to tell them why it is that only by keeping the Liberal Democrats in government can they be sure that there will be a party in power fighting for them. Why it's only by keeping the Liberal Democrats in government that we can continue to fight for a stronger economy and a fairer society. Why it's only by keeping the Liberal Democrats in government that we can continue to give everyone the power to create their own destiny, to make their own choices, to participate in the political decisions that shape their lives. Oliver Cromwell's great battle cry to his russet-coated captains used to be, "Know what ye fight for, love what you know." You have the message. We have the record. So all we now need to do is to get out there, fight for more jobs for the jobless, and win. Thank you.